Welcome to Interstage Left. I'm your host, Yvette Monique Clark. This is the spot where we kick it about all things theater, from on stage to backstage and even under the stage. We're talking stories, craft, and the passion that keeps the theater world alive. Let's get into it. All right, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Today we have Taylor Peterson. Oh, I'm so excited. It's been a day. There's a lot of backstory to this. That's just between me and him. We got our personal jokes now.
We do. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm Taylor Peterson, Hornist, arts administrator, fundraiser, musician. I don't know, Marie's connoisseur, if you will. How's it going, Yvette?
I always start this podcast with finding out where you're from and how you got to the place where you wanted to be in this business and be a professional musician, or whatever path that I have, folks that I have on the show. So just tell us about, who your mentors were, where you're from, how you got started, stuff like that.
Sure. Originally, I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. So bringing it way down south a little bit. I got involved with music, like many people from the South, through the church and also through football games. Can you believe it? Like, my family was obsessed with going to the high school football games, and the marching band was my favorite part as a kid. And actually, even before so, my mother used to say, like, oh, this kid's gonna love music, because when I was in her womb, I was kicking and screaming, and she had to go walk when the choir was singing. Like, it was like a whole thing. So that was like my real in. And then going through public schooling, I was very blessed to have great public schooling and funding that gave me access to an arts education, whatever I chose. Music was obviously the main thing that, stole my heart. And because of the marching band thing, because the brass instrument was very loud, and I don't know, I thought that French horn was very interesting. So there was a test they did in middle school. They tested you on the instruments you wanted to play, and you get a score 1 out of 10. And I could play high C on day one on the French horn in 6th grade. And they were like, so you're going to play that, right? So I was like, well, but I wanted to play the trombone, but I was really bad at the trombone. Like, day one, it's like, anyway, and life happened how it happened. But I'm glad I chose what I did. So from there, I went through public schooling and went to Arts High School, which is also a residential public school in South Carolina, also state funded. And from there, I went to Juilliard and majored in French horn performance. And I wanted to be a French horn player full time and have this orchestral career. That was when I was 16, 17, 18. That was the dream.
Right.
And now I'm not 16, 17, 18 anymore, but you never know what life is going to bring you. And my eyes were opened so much by living in New York City. So I came to New York City because of school, like many people. I went and did a master's at Northwestern in French horn performance as well, because there's a really good music school there, especially for brass players.
Okay.
And then I said, Chicago's cute, but I miss New York. I got to go back. I felt I had such a community here, and it's just, Broadway and just the different styles of music that you can play and do and be a part of. I wanted to be in it. So I came back, and I also at the same time was like, well, I care about music and the arts as a whole beyond what I do as a performer. So I chose to go to NYU and get an arts, performing arts administration degree as well.
Okay.
So, as we say in my chosen family, I got 2 master's degrees. There's a whole story behind that. I can tell you another day. But anyway, yeah, and thank goodness I did, because there's so much to the business side of the arts and the nonprofit sector that you don't know unless you're working in it,
right,
or someone's trained you and brought you up in the same way that you practice your voice or your instrument. So,
right.
Yeah, and that led to many other opportunities in the city. And so I always say I'm a dual career artist, or I guess portfolio career is one of the terms that I've heard recently that I like. So yeah, I'm playing in the city, especially in the springtime. That's a very busy season for me. And then also working as a consultant at a company called CCS Fundraising, working with nonprofits to help them reach their fundraising goals.
Right. So you are the only person I know besides, oddly enough, my doctor, who plays the French horn. So I'm really curious to, because I know what a French horn looks like, but it seems like it's a really intricate brass instrument to play. Is that the case? Is this one of the harder brass instruments to play?
Yes. People say you put your smartest people on French horn, oboe, and bassoon. That's what they tell music educators who are working in like the band department.
Wow.
And the reason for that is because we have more tubing and more overtones and partials, without getting too camped out and nerdy on this podcast. But point is, I have a whole other octave of notes that I can play without, putting a button down, just literally the movement of my lips and my speed of my air, that trumpet players and trombone players don't have. So it's the notes on our instrument are much smaller, and our mouthpiece is so much smaller. So its accuracy is always a challenge, which is why French horn players miss so many notes. You can hear that in recordings. Even the best people do it. It's a part of life. So, but yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head. It's one of the more challenging instruments to play.
Okay. Because I see it. The look of it even makes it seem like it's like, that looks like that's not easy to play. And that's why I was interested in when I found out that that's what you did. I was like, well, I know somebody else wants to know why the French horn is so hard. But yeah, it's fascinating to me when people do things that I do not do. So that's also what this podcast is about. I could surely talk to singers and actors all day, but so many other parts make up the arts and the stages that we grace, that I want to talk to all those kinds of people as well. And you are one of them. You have done many concerts, and been fortunate enough to be on the stage at Carnegie Hall, right?
Yes.
So how many times have you performed, and what was that like?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I honestly lost count, and I think the bio that I sent you is outdated. So I need to if I ever get like a rainy 3 days where I can sit and do nothing, which in New York, that doesn't happen.
Happen.
Right. My first time, this is wild. This is the story I'll tell you, because this is how wild it is to be a musician performing in New York. Anything can happen, and at any time, and anybody can call you, and it's a very interesting world. But the first time I ever performed on Carnegie Hall stage was in high school with my youth orchestra from South Carolina. We took a trip up here and worked with a company that basically their whole mission is to give access to younger performers and community choirs and university choirs and student orchestras, give them access to a performing arts venue like Carnegie. So they bring a lot of these organizations through, and my youth orchestra was one of them. So that was my first time. And fast forward, through networking, when I moved back from Chicago and after COVID, because that was a whole other, I'm sure you know, getting back, just everything getting back up was like a whole thing, and people had moved away, and it's like, who is in my network? I don't really know anymore. And anyway, someone put me in touch with someone who contracts for this same company who brought my youth orchestra in, and I started playing with them. And the ensemble is called the New England Symphonic Ensemble. We are an orchestra that accompanies choirs that come through Carnegie Hall. There's also performances in DC area and Boston. I mainly do the New York thing. So full circle moment. I think as an act 2 on the program that I was playing French horn on for, I don't know, Clemson University Choir and a few other universities combined. Act 2 was my youth orchestra from South Carolina. And at dress rehearsal, my old conductor walked on stage, and I said, "Dr. Hicken." And he was like, "Taylor, oh my gosh." And he, Dr. Hicken is an incredible educator. And he goes, "This is my last year with the Youth Symphony. I'm retiring this year, and it's my last time in Carnegie Hall, like, to my knowledge." And I was like, what a full, like, that's so my crazy. First time and his last time. And
wow,
here I am getting paid to do what I love. And
right.
It was just this weird interweb thing. And I was just really grateful in that moment. And to make it even crazier, in the youth orchestra was a violinist who was the son of my band director from 6th grade, who got me started on French horn. And of course, she was in the audience as well. And I got to see her and say thank you. And see me play in Carnegie. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Like,
that's amazing.
One of my favorite days of life. People talk about their weddings, and
right.
I'm like, that's, for me, that was such a full moment. And and so that's a very romanticized but very real story of what it's like. But the vastness of that space, it's a very big hall. It can be a little hard, especially if there's a choir behind you. It can be hard to hear yourself, because you got to remember the French horn points backwards. So it can be, all my sound can be going into choir robes or tuxedos. I don't necessarily hear everything that the audience hears, or if there's, if it's just orchestra and nothing behind me, I can hear myself a little better. But it's a big space to fill, and American halls are consistently larger than European halls, which makes them harder to perform in. But Carnegie Hall has this weird acoustic, it's like this enigma, and there's many articles written about this. You can look it up. But it's always a pleasure to play there. The backstage is a nice area since they remodeled it several years ago. So any gig at Carnegie, I will happily be there and take.
So when I wanted to talk to you about the French horn, I tried to look up some stuff and find out stuff about the French horn. And so, like you said, it's smaller notes, it's a smaller tubing. And so what I understand, that your counts are also different when you play. Your rests are different. If that makes sense. Do you have to hold those longer?
Do you mean like perhaps, okay, I think what you're saying might be that we might sit there for 40 measures and not play, and then we have to come in. That's true. String instruments have to play a lot more than us. So like they'll
Okay.
be there. Bum bum ba-dum, whatever. I just gotta come in, right? Like, and God bless if you went out to lunch in your head or
Yeah,
you're
you have to
having
keep you have to keep count of those measures in your head.
it's that, and you have to know the piece so well that you know that even when you get distracted, and if you have like ADD, ADHD like me, like
Yes.
you'll be like, oh, it's time to come in, or you'll hear it, or you'll even know it so well, you'll hear it in your head and be like, oh yeah, oh wait, that's me. I'm supposed to be playing, and oh, you can jump in. So
Awkward.
that, yeah, there's a lot of sitting and waiting when it comes to these instruments. And that's honestly not the worst because we're physically you can't do like what a string and pianist can do.
Right.
I'm sure as a vocalist, you know you can't strain it. These are people parts, is what we say, and
Yeah.
your lips are, they can take a few hours, but oof. But think about like Broadway though, like doing 8 and 9 shows a week, like that's a
Yeah.
lot. And I know the ballet, when they do the Nutcracker, I mean, they 2 show days, 3 show days.
Mhm.
You have to be really careful. You can injure yourself. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you take care of yourself if you're like you're approaching high season, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so which is also allergy season. How do you how do you like take care of yourself when that happens, when you're getting really busy and you have to use your face the whole time?
Yeah. So many answers to that, but the most important thing is hydration, hydration. Like if I got to be a little careful about my diet and
Mhm.
stay hydrated. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really stiff and I can't
Okay.
access the technique that I need.
Right.
That's one thing. And then just general stress management and being healthy. Like I'm a runner.
Okay.
If I'm not running and exercising my body and getting out my stress and going to the gym and doing what I need to do there, like I'm gonna feel it's gonna come to the stage with me one way or
Right.
another.
Yeah.
Even if I'm playing, like I typically prefer to play the underdog parts just because I have so many things going on, and I like to have fun,
Right.
and I do love to be first chair and give my diva moment here and there with something that I really feel special about. But there's a lot of stress there, so I have to
Yeah.
make sure. I'm just managing the stress in a healthy physical space to bring my mental space, the proper game that it needs and give it the attention that it needs. So I'm relaxed and not worried about whatever's going on around me or within me. Because,
Right.
you get in your head, like you're having an off day and it can be a lot. So
Yeah.
I think that's that. And then there's just good old fashioned technique. And I'm not someone, yes, was I better than other people at the French horn where I was from? Sure. Am I the best French horn player in the world? Absolutely not. I had to work for it in so many ways and figure it out and figure out my technique and what that means to me and my processes. And so making sure I'm getting my warm up in for whatever I have to do that day, or warming down. Some people, is this a new phrase to you? I feel like I say warming down and string players are like, what are you talking about? But it's like, I got to play my low notes and just get everything relaxed. And, otherwise I'll be really stiff the next day. It's like running a marathon. You can't go play a Mahler symphony and blast at fortissimo for something like that and that big, and then just put the horn down and expect to be able to play Mozart the next day. No,
Right.
they're very different animals. No, or even Sondheim, or just nothing.
Right. Just anything that's
You just got to be in tune with your body and give it what it needs. It's an organism. It's what you feed it is what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Have you ever thought about teaching the French horn or?
Teaching, I did do some teaching. I guess this is before the pandemic. I had a few private students.
Mhm.
And it's so funny because even in college, I was like, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna like, I was like, I don't necessarily want to be in an orchestra full time, but I want to teach full time and I want to travel and play with all these different orchestras and
Mhm.
ensembles. And once I got into teaching like on a weekly basis, it's way more than you think it is. Have you taught before, Yvette?
No.
Say more. Anyway, no, it's more, I think there's a lot of challenges there with today's generation. That's, when I was in high school, my band director used to call us the instantaneous generation. Like no one wants to practice. Like you go to the microwave, you press a button and your food's ready. Like,
Right.
or you were on a video game and like, that was so much of, I'm in my 30s. So that, and now it's even more of that. Like it's,
Mhm.
people don't, even if they like it, the work ethic is just not there based on
Right.
what I've experienced. And even some of the most talented kids. And I'm like, God, if you just practice 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So in my situation, I there's a part of me that loves teaching, and I've done actually a lot of guest artist teaching at different high schools around.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends who are band directors, so I've been in Texas doing things. I've been in North Carolina and others where I've taught groups, which it's great, and I think people have gotten a lot out of that. But when it comes to doing private teaching, I think I need a very specialized group of students who are really dedicated, because that's how I was growing up. I was always into it, and I was
Mhm.
always working hard at it. And not that I expect that to be every student. One experience is not the same as the next. Um, but there's a physicality that comes to playing a brass instrument that
Yeah.
if you're not working at it, you're just going to stay the same.
Mhm.
It's like, if you can only lift 5 pounds, but you're not practicing those 5 pounds 5 days a week at least, or 7 days, whatever, don't expect to lift 10 pounds at the next lesson. So,
Right. Right.
because again, these are muscles. So, I had
Yes.
a conductor who once said, instrumentalists or musicians are athletes of the small muscles. And I always had a very like athletic approach and process
Yeah.
of this stuff. And it's
Yeah.
very, that's, you teach what you know and try to give inspiration and motivation along the way. And I feel like where I've been the best teacher is like giving life lessons. I don't know. And students see that too. So that's part of a private teaching experience. So, but yeah. So yes and no is the answer to that question.
Yes. Yes. Yes and no. Um. So, have you done pit work before? Like your
Yes, I
orchestra pit?
have.
Okay. And
Um,
how is that different from like orchestra?
well,
Is
the
it
first thing,
different?
it is different. But at the end of the day, it's home music, right? Like, come on,
Right.
let's not. People love to overcomplicate things, and some days I'm just like, people, come on, like it's not that deep. Play in tune, play in time, and let's do our jobs.
Doesn't
And
matter if you're under the stage or on top of it. It's
right.
yeah.
But it is different in the sense of space.
Mm-hmm.
It can be really crammed, even
Mm-hmm.
like in a full orchestra opera pit, that can be really tight sometimes if you don't have the right space for it. I mean, I think the Met
Mm-hmm.
Opera has the biggest pit in North America or the world, even actually.
Wow.
Um, but even still, when they play a Wagner opera, they're crammed. Um,
Mm.
but when it comes to something like Broadway, I've sat in a few pits before, and certain. It depends. It depends on the instrumentation, how big
Right.
the orchestra is. If it's a 9-person pit orchestra, 13, are we talking full Sondheim orchestra? Like,
Right.
space is one thing, and then the whole, especially with technology, these days, like a lot of people have a screen on their stand so they can see the
Mhm.
conductor, because the conductor might be a little higher so they can see
Okay.
the fingers, right?
Right.
But the camera's pointing at it so you can see the baton. They're looking at the camera to cue
Right.
if they need to. So that's a little different. The dynamics are different in a pit. I don't think I can definitely say this in Broadway. Like, if people are, as you said earlier, having more rests, they might be playing Candy Crush on their phone. They're not going to do that on the Carnegie Hall stage,
No,
but
no, no.
if this,
You can't even bring your. I probably can't bring your phone on the Carnegie stage. So,
no,
yeah.
you can. I get photos. That's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, like there's definitely that kind of casual aspect to it, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It's not that the sound, in terms of sound, it sounds different. And when you're in a pit, actually, especially for a musical, you don't play extremities. A brass instrument like the French horn can be very soft, and it can be very, very loud and extreme.
Right.
So you kind of have to bring it in, and you're mic'd anyway.
Right.
So it's custom that you should be playing in a more controlled sound
Yeah.
setting. So that's a big playing difference, really, as well as hearing. But those are the bigger differences that stand out.
Is it really competitive to um be in a Broadway pit, or to like get into the circle, the network, you know, the same way it is on top of the stage?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked this question. If anyone is listening to this, please listen up, because a lot of people think that you audition for these pits on Broadway, and you don't. There's no audition that I've ever heard of where they're like, we have a French horn chair for, I don't know, Sweeney Todd revival #5 or whatever it is, whatever we're on now, girl. There's none of that. Like, it's all network. It's all there. There's a handful of contractors in the city, and they trust who they trust. And they're, as one show closes, the next one opens. Now, the complication there for someone like me who plays French horn is not every show has French horn in it.
Right.
So there's that. But people move shows. People just move around. As one thing closes, they go to the next thing, or
Hmm.
maybe someone has a show and they've had it for a long time, and they heard, oh, what was that show with Kristen Chenoweth? Versailles.
Queen of Versailles.
Yes, when that closed, sooner than people thought. They're like, oh, hey, come on down to the Moulin Rouge and play for us. Like, and that's what happens. It's like that person had like given that person a gig before,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of a pecking order. It's a lot of favors. It's a tight knit community.
Mhm.
I'll definitely say that, and I get it. It's business, so you can't necessarily be mad if someone gave you a favor. I'd probably do the same back. I mean,
Right.
but it's not like on the top of the stage. Because let me ask you, do all the parts on the stage, they have fair auditions, would you say?
I've never been on Broadway. I've auditioned for several Broadway shows. Um, and it is interesting because I am in the realm of all of the divas who are in my age group. And I started performing later, so I don't have the same I don't know the same people and I didn't come through the same, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing, but we all still have to audition. We do audition. Sometimes you know when a big show is coming, you know Audra's doing it. Why you auditioning for this part? You know Audra gonna come in here and do this part. But for the most part, we can actually audition, but when a huge show comes, we know it's already cast. But you know, union rules, they have to have auditions. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting you say that. So union roles for orchestras, because it's a different union,
Mm-hmm.
um, they there's a certain number that the orchestra has to be before auditions have to happen.
Oh,
So
okay.
it has to be a larger orchestra, and pit orchestras aren't big enough, or
Okay.
even orchestras and other air. There are many regional orchestras around New York City. They don't necessarily have to have auditions if they're smaller than I don't know the actual number. I think it's like 50 or 40 people, but
Okay.
like the New York Philharmonic, very union. They must. Now, will they ever hire someone? That's a different story. Actually, I'll take that back a little bit. They did recently at least give someone a year-long trial. So, and actually, I think he was a Broadway hornist. So,
Okay.
and that just shows you how work moves around in the city. So, like one
Yeah.
person goes to one place, something else opens, and
Right.
there's a lot of us here. There's more French horn players in New York City and instrumentalists in New York City than you think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of it's competitive in that way, but we're all fighting the good fight and living the full dream and the gigs that we do and the
Right.
network and people that we're with and the community that we bring. Because at the
Right.
end of the day, you want to work with people who can do the job and who are good people to work with, right?
Right.
Like, and that's what it comes
Right.
down to.
That's all. That's what else is there? What else is there? So you also have, turn your hat around. You also have
Oh,
another thing that you do.
so you,
You are a fundraiser, right?
yes,
So talk to me about being the senior director at CCS fundraising, and how did you even get to that place? Like, how did you even begin
yeah.
your journey in that
So
part of the arts?
yeah, that's I'm glad you asked that too. So the job I have now, I came to because after going to NYU, I started at the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center working in fundraising there. And they
Okay.
were doing a capital, well, they called it a capital campaign, but it was an anniversary campaign for the 50th anniversary of the Chamber Music Society, which is, incredible. I had interned there, had good relationships with the staff, and that all came because I went to NYU, and yeah, so got involved there. I was doing everything from managing the database and donation, like gift entry, to writing grants, to
Mm-hmm.
research on major donors that we were approaching, to talking to individual donors and asking them for gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was a COVID experience at a certain point, because then I was working from home and trying to figure out what a digital virtual event meant for donors while
Right.
also celebrating chamber music. Luckily, chamber music was great to work in during this moment because it's so nimble and few people are involved. So
Okay.
um, we were able to do more hybrid events later on, and before it wasn't like we had 100 people on stage, right? So
Right.
a string quartet, so very
Mm-hmm.
very different. So anyway, yeah, I got a lot of experience there in terms of my fundraising work experience, and obviously something I'm very related to and care about. And that led to my next job at the New York Historical Society, which is now called the New York Historical. Don't ask me. I was not on the board. I didn't. Y'all can Google it. Anyway, but
Okay.
I went there to work on their capital campaign for a new wing. And so that was specifically fundraising major gifts for this new wing. And in that new wing is going to be the first American LGBTQ plus museum. So being a queer person, I was like, this sounds great. It was an upgrade in terms of title and salary and something else I wanted to do. Working in the museum field was different than being in the performing arts, classical music world. And I kind of love that dichotomy of like, I was in the museum space, but I had my performance thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
The balance. I was there for 3 years and ended up, we hit the goal for the campaign. And that, by the way, the building's opening this year. So please, please go. Actually, it opens on Juneteenth of all days. It's a big history year for many things in the country right now. But we don't have to talk about the state of the country. But anyway,
the Obama Foundation library is also opening on Juneteenth, so that's also good news.
I like that news better. Anyway, but
yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Did that and did major guest fundraising. So I was working more so with individuals in certain ranges of their levels of giving. And then from there, I decided to go into a consulting route, which is where I'm at now as senior director at CCS. And it was kind of like a stars aligned moment. I had been looking, we hit the goal for the building. And so I was looking for my next project anyway and what I wanted to do. And turns out this company that I work for, they were in talks with Juilliard on their campaign that they're working on right now. And I'm an alum. It made just so many things aligned in the moment. And so I've been consulting Juilliard on their tuition-free campaign since December.
Okay.
So, I've always been in arts and culture and done anything from events to solicitations to data to communications and marketing. It's all there. And it all truly was born from playing the French horn and just caring about what spaces we can exist in moving forward,
Right. That's also important to have a building in which you do the art.
Hello. If you don't have a space to bring people to, and how we do art, right? Like who's getting the commission and what are we valuing as artists right now? Yeah. And is it what we want to say right now? And who believes in that? Who wants to fund that? It's a very complicated industry and there are many ways we can all participate in it. And we all do so many things. Like people are not just one thing. Like I'm not just a French horn player. I'm not just a fundraiser. I'm not just an admin. I'm not just Taylor. I am a full human being of experiences. And 10 years from now, who knows what I'll be doing? You know what I mean?
Right. Who knows where you'll be? So you write grants and you so when you grant write,
mm-hmm.
I'm so fascinated by people who go write things like this. Like this is okay. So it's like, how do you get these people motivated enough to like give you money? Like it seems so, especially in today's world where people are, I feel like, not taking the arts as seriously as in this country as they do abroad,
mm-hmm.
right? And it's so difficult to make people understand that arts is just as important as breathing. And it is. And because if you take it away, you'll realize how important it is. And so we're trying not to have you take it away. So how do you get people to like invest in like build, the historical museum and the space that needs to be built? Like what is your fundraising firm working on now with Juilliard?
Yeah. So, okay, two questions. It sounds like that are there.
Yeah.
First, I mean, your pitch, your overall pitch, it has to be tailored to your audience, and it also has to be true. It has to be, you can't just say I'm going to do this or that, but you have to deliver and authentic. I'm a big believer in like authentic storytelling and fundraising. What is the mission of your organization, and does it align with the prospect or the donor? And if so, what do you offer that relates to them? What do they want to help? You don't know. You meet so many people in this industry, and you don't know, like I remember I was talking to a donor about supporting the Capitol project at the museum.
Mhm.
They actually didn't want to support. We kind of thought they were going to name a classroom, and that was what we were pitching. But they were like,
Okay.
well, our daughter is a teacher and we want to help the education department. We want our gift to go there. So understanding the nuances of human beings and their values, and finding that it's almost like you're a matchmaker sometimes. You have to do a lot of research, but also a lot of conversation and figuring out, and it's relationship building. So,
Right.
Finding where your cause and their cause intersect is your job truly as a fundraiser. Yes, we have goals to make. Yes, la la la, but life is hard, la la la. But like, it's be the good person, and I don't know, you'll find it. What does Lady Gaga say? Do it for impact, not for the acclaim or the award. So that's one answer there. And then I think in terms of what I'm working on right now with Juilliard, well, first and foremost, it's kind of amazing with the stories I'm hearing. People don't realize that Juilliard actually does give a lot of scholarship already. Like, people think it's a private school, and if you're auditioning there, you can afford to go there. And there's a lot of not true things that are out there. And coming from a kid from South Carolina with a single mother, like,
Right.
I went there because, one, I wanted to really go there. Two, I got the best deal out of all my colleges I got into.
Okay.
So, and that was before the launch of this tuition-free campaign.
Okay.
So what resonates with people is access to education and access to the arts specifically.
Right.
It's today's students, tomorrow's stages is what the line we're using.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a launching ramp to what's happening across the street in Lincoln Center, what's happening in California, what's happening in China, what's happening down south. It's
Yes.
Juilliard musicians, Juilliard actors are everywhere. Juilliard dancers, they go to companies beyond this. They do their own projects, like they start their own businesses. People who don't even play their instruments anymore or do their art. They're like, they could be, running a wonderful investment firm, making
Right.
tons of money, and they want to give back. So there's your connection. It's back to
Right.
the arts and their roots. People care a lot about their roots.
Yeah.
That. So it's finding what people care about, what resonates with them. And in terms of, why the arts matter, making that case, it's a fight every day. I can't necessarily say I've seen any cultural institution have it fully figured out, because we're all losing money in certain ways, but we're also, individual giving is going up. It's the highest it's ever been, technically, if you look at the numbers. But, what does that mean for your financial health of your organization?
Right.
It's a balance, but understanding that the arts have value to us as humans, and it's a reflection of what we're experiencing and what art you care about. And
Right.
in the fundraising world, I'm going to pitch the art that they care about, right?
Right.
So they know and back it up. I'm not going to give them, oh, this is great. No, here are the numbers. Here's the impact. Here's the growth, or here's the weakness. We need your help.
Right. Right.
You can make it happen. Are y'all listening?
Can you hear me? Is
Right.
this thing on? Is this thing on? That's all I want to say. It's always knowing people behind the table and in the front office, knowing what it takes to make what happens on the stage and under the stage happen is hard work, and it is sometimes unchampioned work. But yeah, we need to let people know that that's what has to happen for arts to happen. Somebody has to write a check. Somebody has to write a check.
It's true. And that's the model in, our capitalist American society.
Yeah.
We're not living in Europe where people pay taxes and it goes to your organization.
Yeah.
In the same way that it does here. So it's very privately funded here.
Yeah.
But certain administrations care more and certain ones care less. That's what I'll say.
Yep. And we're gonna leave that right there in the pocket, right where that is.
There you go.
Because this is about the arts.
Correct. Yes.
Do you feel that we are moving into the age of the AI? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel that is going to affect musicianship in any way at some point?
I'm definitely not going to say no, because look at what the synthesizer did.
Yeah.
Think about how many musicals or movies that you watch, a lot of indie films who don't have the budget for an orchestra, right?
That's right.
They're not using real instruments, and that tool got really great at recording and doing what it does. It's way better than what it was, in the 90s and 80s or whatever. But it's, now we see, what if this artist and this artist blended voices and became this, and this is the song they would do. And, there's all this weird AI stuff on YouTube, but I do think it will get refined, and I think there is equally an opportunity and something that we should definitely avoid, because as I was saying, I was talking about the pitch of the arts. It's humanism and all the storytelling that's there. It's, at the end of the day, it's a machine, and it's not at all the same. When someone's, this is how I feel about you, Yvette. When I've heard you sing before, I just sense regardless of whatever you've been through in your life, I feel that you have been through things, and it's so boring when someone performs and you haven't experienced a bad day in their life or any real problem. It's
no soul is in it.
No soul, no it factor, no outcry, no here I am, here, look at me. Or if it's not about you, it's hear this, hear what the message is saying in this song or this piece. AI can't do that. It can be creative and give us a lot of different things that maybe we haven't thought about, but I'm not going to say no, because I do think there will be some interesting things that come out of it in the next 20 years. But I it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be, you know, Audra McDonald at the Tonys doing Gypsy.
Honey,
Hey, I
no.
can do that with that. That ain't no. Like
It can't do that. It could never.
it couldn't. It really couldn't. So, you know, and maybe somebody will create a musical or a thing that it's built
It'll
on.
be a gimmick, you know.
Maybe
The first AI musical. You know.
great. Great. So
Great.
So who's making the money now? Like, I don't, you know, why should I donate to that? Why should I invest? I'm not.
Right. It won't be anybody we know. So at this point of the show, I always do what I call stage left quickies.
Okay.
And I shoot off a bunch of rapid fire questions of things that you would know.
I hope I know. And if I don't, I'll say next
question. I don't know. You know, this is no pressure. This is we in the living room. We chilling. We having a conversation.
All right.
Pit or orchestra?
Ooh, dang. Okay. I'm gonna have to say pit because I want to do more of it. So
yeah.
I want to do pit. So that's where I'm at.
Count rest or nonstop playing?
Count rest.
Favorite show to play?
Ooh, favorite show to play. Because I've played it, I think now 3 times. I'm gonna have to say Into the Woods.
Okay.
I just it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It's a fun show. Warm-up routine, strict or vibes?
That's it's yes and for me.
Okay.
I think my colleagues would say strict, but it's the vibe of the day of how strict I'm going to be.
Okay. Okay. Dream gig.
Oh, my dream gig. I want to be I want to be on a Lady Gaga album. That's what I want to do. If you're listening out here.
Let's see if we can make this podcast reach Lady Gaga. Imagine that.
And she needs another French hornist for another Chromatica Part 2 or something. I don't know. Like, I can do it. I promise.
Uh-huh. One word to describe the French horn.
Is that a word? No. I'm gonna say, gosh, I might have a different word for you later on. For now, I'm gonna say regal. Regal.
That's a good word. I want to thank you for us finally getting to talk to each other.
Thank you, Yvette. This is such a blessing. And when you asked me to do this, I was like, yeah, like, let's do this. Like, I'm very interested. And I listened to your episode with Kenny, and I love some Kenny Green. So y'all were just having a good time. And
yes,
this is an important platform for all of us here in New York, or maybe you're interviewing other people in other spaces. But you know, there's so many people, as you said, that goes on behind the scenes, under the stage, backstage. And not all of us are big names, but we all make it happen. And whether how small or big the project is. And at the end of the day, there's an audience there looking at us, waiting to experience it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for making this platform happen. Like, it's great.
Thank you. Woo! All right, Taylor. I'll see you at some point, maybe on a Monday or Thursday.
On a Monday or a Thursday. I love it.
All right, lovey.
All right, now take care. I will talk to you soon.
All right.